You want me just to read it when we start the stream?
I mean, the stream started. Do what you got to do.
Oh, okay. Dear Ek, I waited you, but you still ain't in my callin'. I left my Discord, my StreamYard, and my cell phone at the bottom. About to get doxxed, not a big deal. I sent 2 emails back in December. They must be embers. There probably was a problem at the mail server or something. Sometimes I type email addresses too sloppy when I jot them. But anyway, fuck it. What's been up, man? How's your gram? So we're late because I was in trying to get the child to sleep.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Baby Yoda's got 0 chill.
Graham Goo.
Wakes up. Yeah. Unless we're in hyperspace, he wakes up at about 8:30 every night.
In hyperspace, they haven't had any new articles on that for years, so too bad.
It's quite a joke there, Corey.
What the fuck? What's your problem tonight? Everything just isn't good enough for you. Do you want a different co-host? Is that what this is?
Yeah, no, I don't think there are too many people who would be on episode 700 and have made negative $5 on the show so far. So no, I'm probably good.
It's probably close to that.
Yeah.
We don't net very high, but I guess next week I'm going to be replaced by like Daughters of Ferrix or Star Wars Centralized or something.
Actually, you know what? The last stream did pretty all right on my channel anyway.
Yeah, well, good for you. I'm happy for you.
I made dozens of dollars.
So you pay for the Podbean, everyone. So anything that gets sent out to like Spotify or whatever, Eck is paying for the account on the service that does that. I was paying for StreamYard for a while, and then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore because it was only 720p. But that's the behind the scenes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another in media res edition of Star Wars Tapcaf Transmissions. I don't know why I called it Star Wars Tapcaf Transmissions. It's been a long day. You didn't sleep very well last night. But we are going to be talking about Skeleton Crew, and joining me for this conversation about Skeleton Crew, a man who would rather not be here, Justin of Eckhart's Ladder. How are you doing?
Why would you say that?
You've intimated as much already tonight. Or that you'd rather not have me here, but this is my channel, so if you don't want me here, then what's the difference?
I'm just scoping out a new apprentice, one who's far younger and more powerful.
One who uploads far more often.
You know what, Corey? I could say a lot about you. I don't think I'd ever say that you don't upload enough.
Yeah, but if you remove the Empire at War spam, what am I really left with? We shouldn't do this, though, because whenever we do the fake arguments, people think we really hate each other, and it hurts the brand.
Yeah, they're lucky they don't read the DMs me and Charlie send each other.
Those are real, though.
There's like a nugget of true emotion there. Like when he calls me a rat and I call him whatever I call him, like, yeah, we're joking, but yeah.
That's why I'm necessary. I'm not part of the actual business relationship, but I need to be there to balance you out in other places. Right. Tonight's topic is going to be Skeleton Crew Episode 3. Before we get to that, any big Star Wars news that has happened?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I guess Skeleton Crew, the first 2 episodes have been reviewing well. We've had a couple of castings for The Mandalorian Grogu. Jeremy Allen White will be playing I think Jabba the Hutt's son.
Yeah,
and that's not a meme.
Back. I'm not sure if I believe that or not. Like, come on.
Apparently it's true. I mean, Deadline reported it.
Okay, but like, who leaked it? Like, is it a trap? Is this someone just leaking random shit to catch people?
Apparently he's going to be jacked as well.
Well, yeah. Stinky was jacked in the Clone Wars movie.
And then we also had another casting, one of the warlords from The Mandalorian Season 3 will be returning. My guess is that, and I've seen a couple other people speculate this, we're going to start off the movie with him kind of finishing off one of the minor warlords, kind of like it's going to end with like a big space battle where he's doing whatever, and then jump into the actual action.
Yeah, well, it opens up on like a black screen with the Mandalorian, and then the dark saber comes through, a rebuilt dark saber, and it's
Um,
the an Imperial being sliced in half, so
oh
the
my
top side
god,
slides down, and then it's like Kill Bill kind of situation, but Kill
a
Gil.
rebuilt dark saber.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna not have the dark saber.
I
Like
think they should
I
not
I
have
called
dark
that they're
saber.
destroying it. I'm calling that they're gonna have another one.
You're probably right. I mean, they did it with
Dar-
IG, so
They did it with the Death Star like 7 times.
the only dark saber I want is the long penis-shaped Hut super weapon.
Well, then you should play some more Thrawn's Revenge.
I was
But
watching a video on the Huts yesterday because I was thinking about doing a playthrough.
speaking of uh speaking of Thrawn's Revenge and Empire at War, the person on Reddit who does a yearly email to virtual Ted at Petroglyph to see if there's going to be an Empire at War 2, the answer is still no. Still
Okay,
no. Petroglyph is still angling for it, still being told by Lucasfilm Games and EA, not yet. So people are still interested. They're not being told flat out no, just not yet. But maybe someday.
maybe someday. It won't be Empire at War 2. It'll be
Yeah,
sorry, I think my audio is a bit low. It'll be Empire at War.
two.
No, it'll be Battlefront style.
Yeah, but like it'll be Empire at War TOO. Like it's also Empire at
Like
War.
X2.
Yeah.
God, the branding crossover if that happened would be unfucking real.
That's if I ever have hope of getting my silver play button, it's Empire at War 2. But
No, your lore channel will get there.
yeah.
What's it at now?
They're both at like 57,000.
Oh yeah,
So
no
Datapad
problem.
has basically caught up to lose it, and
And Loses had what, 7 years, 6 years lead?
a couple. But yeah, so Skeleton Crew, episode
Mm-hmm.
3. I'm really liking the series so far. How are you
Yeah,
feeling about it?
yeah. No, I really enjoy it. Excellent. I was saying on Twitter, which for some reason I'm posting on again. I think I'll stop again once the show ends. It reminds me a lot of Young Jedi Knights, which we all know I love, and it reminded me of our discussion we had about the potential Fox Young Jedi Knights series that was all for naught, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, a Star Wars show in the 90s, like a live action Star Wars show in the
Could have
90s,
been
would have
so
been pretty
bad.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not going to be. Like, did you ever see the Animorphs show? I feel
No,
like
I never did.
that's the upside, and it was not good. I loved
Mm.
Animorphs at that point.
Yeah, you explained all the
And
lore to me once when we were drinking.
yeah, it's Animorphs and Digimon. If I get drunk enough, that's the lore that comes out, not
Uh,
Star Wars.
I know it's been a good night when I wake up. I walk over to my computer and I've got about 30 tabs of different mega level Digimon open on my browser. I'm like, I just wonder if there's anything higher than mega level.
Well,
That's how I know it's been a great night.
Omnimon, because like that's the two megas together, right? That's
Yeah. There's a bunch like that I
Metal
just like.
Garurumon and War Greymon that like
Oh, it's
warp
an
above. So
ultra
like,
virus
yeah,
mega Digimon god. I'm like, and like me, like 10 beers in, I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
I need the lore on this.
yeah. So that
Are there
like
any YouTubers to subscribe to?
we're lucky that Young Jedi Knights didn't get made in the 90s because there would never be like we never have Skeleton Crew now to talk about because the franchise would just be done.
Although, what if it played itself like super not seriously? I think it could have worked.
Maybe I don't know. I
Like, is this like as a literal Saturday morning cartoon?
Yeah, but we had Ewoks and we had droids for that, and like they
Yeah, but
who
that
cares
didn't.
about
Well, there's a big difference.
yes.
Um, the the stars are Ewoks and droids or Jedi. Potentially, I'm not convinced the show would have actually been like the same characters.
Probably not.
I was rereading the interview that I think it was Kevin. I think Kevin J. Anderson gave, and it kind of sounded like it was more like the idea more so than the actual characters. But
Yeah.
like, I think George Lucas would have been a bit. I don't know if he would have allowed
Yeah, probably not.
Han Solo's children to make their way on screen.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah,
maybe he
probably
just
not.
wouldn't have cared.
Yeah. It might have been a big canon breaking event when the prequels come out after it, and then like there's no continuity. But
It happens later.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
fine.
who knows? But
I
Skeleton
you know
Crew,
what? The thing about George, I honestly think if it were good, it would have changed George's mind. Like
yeah,
I think like George Lucas is like a pretty big broad strokes guy, and then like he just steals ideas that he likes
yeah.
and like or like lets other people write his scripts for him. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. So maybe it would have been good enough, and that would have changed things. Who knows?
Well, the thing that wouldn't have changed, except if it did, is Skeleton Crew. So, episode 3, overall thoughts on the series so far.
I really really enjoy it. I don't like. I'm trying to think of how I rank it. It's really high for me. It's weird because like I don't get the same. All these Star Wars shows exist on a spectrum, like a multi-dimensional spectrum of like quality and like seriousness and like how excited I am. We're in like 3 or 4 dimensions here. I guess 4. Um, and so like Skeleton Crew, am I like super like hyped like I was for Mandalorian season 2? No, not really, but like the enjoyment levels off the charts. Um, for like something like Ahsoka, which I'm an Ahsoka defender. I really like that show. Kind of the same thing where the hype for that was really high because Thrawn was coming back and all these characters from Rebels were coming back. This show doesn't have that, but I think I'm probably enjoying each episode more. I'm enjoying this almost as much as Mando season 1 actually because
Okay.
it does sort of the same thing of yeah, like this isn't there's no stakes. Like let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like am I watching the X-wings chase down the pirate ship and be like, "Oh man, I hope they don't hit their rear stabilizer. Those kids might be done for." No, like obviously not. We know what's going to happen and that's fine, but it's just, same with ET. The kids aren't going to die.
Yeah. Like,
ET's going to fly them. It's going to be fine.
I think the show knows what it wanted to deliver, and it's delivering on that. Like, it's doing a really good job at addressing its core premise, and the fact that there's no stakes, I think, does really help it. Like, not just no stakes in the show of like, oh, we kind of know the kids aren't going to get their heads blasted off,
What if they
but
did?
would it be Neil? Would there
Would
be
it
a
be sick?
difference in?
Would it be kind of sick if they did? I don't know.
Hey, maybe I'll be proven wrong, but so far I don't think there's a high chance that any of the kids are going to get their heads blasted off.
No,
But
maybe emotionally blasted.
I think when I say like no stakes, I also mean like galactic stakes. This is not a
Yeah.
story that is necessarily going to have the biggest impact on the galaxy. Maybe through some like tie-ins or something, because like all the ships at Borgo that are part of that pirate crew have the same paintings as the ship in Mando season 3, and of course the same pirates there. So like there's connections, but we're not about to find out the fate of the galaxy or like the Galactic Empire's invasion. So like, I think
Do
people are
that until
probably
At has Palpatine's cloning lab on it.
or the carbonite frozen army of Zim the Conqueror or Zim the Despot.
Okay, that would be sick though.
It would be
Like
sick,
that
but
I could actually see happening and
I don't know. I thought at first it was because of the giant diamond skull and everything that's like prime Zim opportunity, but it doesn't seem that way. Like it seems like it's just going to be Old Republic, maybe some artifacts or like lore callbacks because they seem to be happy to do that between Borgo itself and now we have like Crimson Jack that Jude Law's character also went by, which we'll talk about a bit. We'll get to the actual plot soon. But there is something else with like the general reception of the show where it's been nice to say I like a show without getting a fucking shitload of comments from people just railing at me. Like when I talk about things that I liked in the Acolyte, even on
Mhm.
episodes that I didn't like, if I mentioned that I like something, the comments I couldn't fucking read them. It was just it was an awful time to be online. But here, I almost feel like it's playing so much into the nostalgia that might be part of what offsets some of that reaction, which can be a good and a bad thing because I don't want Star Wars to just be pure nostalgia fuel, but like the way this is set up is obviously going to appeal. Like it's nostalgia set up to appeal to a very specific age range in the audience.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like when Star Wars is like relying on nostalgia, it's relying on its own nostalgia.
Right.
When like there's not real, I mean, there are some like Star Wars stories like this, but mostly, on paper. Like
Mhm.
there's RPG stories like this, or Young Jedi Knights, like we talked about, or kind of the Bantam. A lot of the Bantam, Han Solo adventures, kind of funny enough. Definitely feels like this sometimes, and with the mentioned Zim, but yeah, they're really not relying on their own nostalgia. They're, relying on all these different genres and tropes. Obviously, pirate movies, adventure movies, the sort of Spielberg classics. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't mind that, and I think like Star Wars is a fun universe, so it's kind of cool to see its
Yeah.
take on different adventures.
Yeah, like I'm definitely not saying that as a bad thing, but just
No, I
it
know.
might be part of a way to explain reactions from people who would typically not react positively to it.
I think like yeah, and it was sort of the same with with Mando as well, where
Yeah.
like it was like a genre western show almost at the beginning, um, with like a serial with like Adventures of the Week. And this is like very different, but it definitely kind of has the same feel in a way. Um, but yeah, like a lot of it is what the YouTubers, the critics, they smell blood in the water with a show like The Acolyte. Like if, and I'm sure there was some of this, but like if um this show was poorly received, we'd be hearing a lot more about the two moms, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, and there were attempts to make that into a big deal by like fucking
Yeah,
Chris Gore and stuff, and that was it.
yeah,
Like it kind of petered out, but
yeah.
or at
I
least I
explained.
didn't see as much of it afterwards. I was actively not trying to seek out that though this time. So
I explained to everyone, if you watch the show with two moms and you don't watch one of the few hard to find heteronormative families in TV, you do turn gay.
yeah,
That's why I was late for this. I was watching the Brady Bunch. Yeah, I
it's
had to.
the only way to inoculate yourself against.
Clockwork Orange style. I had my eyes being held open. I actually I had to get Kelsey to do it. I was like, listen, it's for our own good. And I explained to her that there are so many gay families in TV. It's insane. And like Star Wars, like it's crazy. And I never see straight families in any of Star Wars or anything else. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why there's never been any like lineages of Jedi or anything. Like it's they talk about the Skywalker family, they're just talking about Anakin and Shmi.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's why
yeah,
Anakin didn't have
uh,
a dad.
yeah.
The only way
Well,
to reproduce.
yeah. He had a dad, but his dad decided he was gay because he watched an episode of Skeleton Crew. So
We have it, folks. But plot wise, so actually let's start off with the parents scene since we got there.
mhm.
There was some speculation from the kids about what their parents might actually be doing as analysts on AT-ATN. So there's some question about whether the parents are kind of in on whatever is uh, keeping the planet isolated. Uh, Either like everyone knows the planet's isolated. They there's got to be someone on the planet that is maybe censoring some information from everyone else. Like, does anyone there actually know what's going on in the galaxy?
Yeah, I definitely don't get the feeling that the parents are in on it, especially after the last episode, where the dad. I feel like the dad kind of realized, like, yeah, there's something like really going on. Like, why can we not speak to this administrator? Why can the Republic not help us? And yeah, I think more and more we're going to see those droids kind of become hostile to the
Mhm.
parents on the planet, who are going to, in an effort to save their kid, be brushing up against the nonsense of the is it the administrator? I think they called it.
Proctor or no? The Proctor's her
No, the
mom.
proctor was the
Yeah,
mom. Yeah, they were talking about I think it was like the administrator or something like
yeah.
that. But yeah,
And luckily, Jude Law hates droids, so much like
supervisor.
Supervisor.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank you.
But yeah, Jude Law hates droids, so that's going to really dovetail together. I don't know what it is about the protagonists in these shows and hating droids that it's like it's the one kind of racism that's okay for them to do. Come on, guys, get it together.
which is funny because I don't think we've ever seen a nice Clatuinian
Okay, well now I want a different
or
co-host. Shut the.
Nicto. I'm not saying they don't
I
exist. I'm
try to
saying
defend you on Twitter sometimes, but now I know I shouldn't because you go and you say things like that.
not all Clatuinians. They are dogs, though. Um,
Got that dog
Sorry,
in.
I shouldn't say that. That is hateful. Um, fuck, what were we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. I guess big galaxy spanning civil war caused some trauma.
Do you have any further thoughts on the potential High Republic connections there? Or are we still both on the great work has nothing to do with Lena So page?
Oh no, definitely not.
Okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
I just want to make sure we check back in on that every episode until we know for sure, so that we're both on the record. We didn't really do any
Yeah, I still
predictions.
want to start a
This,
fight on Twitter with some High Republic fans. So thank you for giving me the opportunity for this.
oh no, I'm unfollowing you, unfollowing you, and
Mm.
removing Tapcaf transmissions from my Twitter bio. But like,
It is
I
funny how often you get caught up in like things that I said and you did not like sign off on.
especially stuff that I've told you in private I disagree with.
Oops.
But we didn't get really an opportunity to do any predictions before this show because a lot of the
No,
times it's like who's going to live or die. My whole charity scheme is based off of predicting who's going to live or die, and I feel like with
I haven't
that,
lost yet, have I?
Hmm?
I haven't lost that yet, have I?
The prediction game.
Yeah.
We never really go back and check, do we?
Well, I know we did for Mando.
Yeah,
And we
well,
did
that one's the only
for
one I remember. For Ahsoka, I don't remember what we ended up getting.
it was the identity of the Inquisitor.
Hmm.
That's what we bet on, but I don't remember.
I don't think any of us said the smoke monster from Lost.
No, it didn't.
That wasn't in
Some
our
really
thought.
insane BO. Yeah.
But like I for every show I do predictions of who's going to live and die, and then if like I have a scale from 1 to 5 on how likely I think they are to live or die. I'm not doing that with a bunch of kids because I feel like again they're probably all going to live.
Isn't a school in America? I'm sorry.
Well, it's not. Star Wars isn't any different. Like the only school we ever really see is the Jedi Temple, and the most commonly reshown scene in the galaxy is Order 66.
It's true.
Like
Well, you
they
got
need
into
to
school in
stop
this
filming
show.
that.
Yeah.
There's probably like uh Michael Moore with like 2 apostrophes in his name making
Like,
Bowling
oh.
for Coruscant or something.
No, that's fuck, what's his name? The guy I always bring up from Fate of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Perry Needmo. Perry Needmo. The Perry Needmo News Hour has a special fucking presentation on school
Oh,
stabbings.
disavow.
It's funny because if you don't laugh, what are you gonna do? We're about to be the 51st state. Like I can't even laugh. Trump just said we're the 51st state, and like based on what I've seen, if he said it, it's essentially true. Like I've not seen anything to the contrary that things he says don't become true. So yeah, French is
So
about to be banned.
well, that would happen anyways.
Yeah.
But so we've talked about the parents. We're probably going to get more scenes on AT-AT in itself as we go further in. I was thinking we were halfway done. I always think there's 6 episodes in these shows for some reason, but there's 8. So I need to calm the fuck down. Even though they're shorter, it
Yep.
does kind of fly by.
They're
But
definitely man. They're like it's Mando season 1 feeling for sure.
yeah. On the kids side, we do open up the episode heading out. We kind of get the same thing twice where there's the first jailbreak, they make their way to the ship. And then we have a second jailbreak where they realize they don't have Smee, so Jude Law, Jod Nanawood goes back to the droid repository and gets them. So in this first section of the episode, we get a lot of callbacks kind of to Jod acting a lot like Obi-Wan in episode 4. We have check in your corners, you have some sneaking around, some fun kids arguing over whether or not they should sit on the floor. I don't know. I think KB gets a lot of good character moments in this
Yeah, I really
episode.
like. Yeah, I agree. She's great.
She tells Wim it's probably a bad idea to be sitting on the floor. I think that's her. So she cares more about Neil and Wim than Fern does. So
Yep.
that's good. She gets to call out Jod, saying that he's probably not a Jedi. Uh, and
So like I ran the numbers. It's not looking good.
yeah, I don't know what numbers she got for that, but hey, good for her.
She ran them.
She's Dana and I were talking about it. She's top of both of our character rankings for
Yeah,
both
I
of
really like
us.
her too.
It goes KB, Neil, Fern, Wim.
Really, Wim's at the bottom. I quite like
Yeah.
Wim. There was a moment last episode where they're being chased and like by the X-wings, and it's like a life or death situation. And Firm and Wim are just like pissed that they don't get to fly. Like they're just like they're chasing him, and they're like not really upset about like the situation they're in. They're upset that they don't get to fly the ship. And like I was like, yep, that's accurate to kids.
Yeah, that's such a. It does a really good job of portraying kids as kids without being like
Yes.
the the usual problems that comes with that. Of I don't know. Sometimes kid characters can be more annoying than they maybe need to be. Like Ezra gets a lot of complaints in early parts of Star Wars Rebels for being kind of annoying kid stereotype, and then there was all the stuff with Anakin where people thought he was more annoying. Everyone
He
says
was.
wizard still, but that's kind of explained because they're stuck in time from a Republic period thing. So that's why slang is the exact same 40 years later. So good stuff. Good lore.
For sure. Yeah, great lore. And really needed that. Yeah, and then they get in the gun and I think Wim starts spinning it around, which I thought was really
Yes.
funny.
So anything on the on that first run back to the ship that's
I did
worth.
think it was interesting he didn't notice the droid, but I mean, I thought he was going to say something like, so he senses the guard coming, and he stops. And I was definitely at first thinking that it was a big coordinated thing with the guards helping him fake it out. But what we see later, where he runs into Alfred Molina, aka Doc Ock, seems to imply that no, that's not the case. Um, but yeah, I really thought he was going to say when the droid flew by, like, yeah, I can't sense a droid. It's not alive. But
But
he did.
could KB sense it from her life alert?
I don't know.
Is that what
I
went
don't
on
know if she
there?
just saw it or if she like scanned it or what.
Because the other thing we didn't talk about that we did learn from the scene with the parents is that KB's like Lobot getup is because she has some health issues, or at least her
Mhm.
parents claim she has some health issues. I'm not like it read a little bit
Yeah, they
like
could be like helicopter parents
yeah,
or hovercraft parents,
yeah,
repulsor lift parents.
repulsor parents. I think I can get behind that.
No, but repulsor, yeah, okay. That was Han and Solo, Han and Leia in the Corellian
So
trilogy when Anakin's in the repulsor parents.
I'm trying to look
Anakin.
through this transcript of the episode, and there's like hot links to ads put in there. So, uh, like some of the lines just say, "Oh, finally, best headphone deals." I don't remember that part of the show,
uh, okay.
but we get to the ship, or they get to the ship, and Jod he thinks like, "Oh, we're just gonna fuck off." Wim is fully buying into his fake Jedi shtick. I don't remember if he actually did claim he was a Jedi. No, he just used.
He does. He basically Wim says it and he like he kind of he says something that's like, yep.
I'm gonna have to check the tapes on that. I'm just gonna Control F Jedi. You're a
Go to the end of
Jedi.
no, episode 2.
The Jedi. He's a Jedi. My name. I don't know if he actually does say Jedi. Episode 2, Skeleton Crew. And I think Jude Law helping lost kids might be one of my favorite subgenres of movies, though. They don't. No, that's an episode guide.
I guess he says you're a Jedi and he says, can you keep a secret? So
Okay, well that's playing a little fast and loose with that Jude Law.
yeah.
I gotta give him that one.
Yep.
There's yeah. So he does agree to go back and get the droid. and we get a fun little stealth sequence. We get the Alfred Molina scene, but we also get him in one of my favorite parts of the episode, waking up a B1 who says, "Did we win?" And then his head falls off, I think.
Yeah.
So all the jokes have landed for me and the show so far. Like enough to get a snort laugh from the couch.
I will say one thing I don't like that Star Wars the shows do a lot, especially Mando, is they have all these aliens. Like so, Alfred Molina is an Ishi Tib, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, and they just give them normal human voices. I wish they wouldn't do that.
Most aliens just have normal human voices. What do you want from them? Have you ever heard an Ishi Tib
No, I
speak
don't
in
know.
a live action show? Like we've seen them in
Mm,
animated shows and they always
probably
sound
not.
normal.
Yeah, you gotta like at least. Yeah, I don't know. Like
What?
Mando did that a lot. Like I feel like if we'd never heard a Rhodian before, Mando would have just made them sound like people.
Well, that's my favorite part of like Jedi Academy is you can just have Jaden running around as this little bug faced
I had him as a what's it called, a Keldor.
Keldor. That's
Last time I played.
the second correct one is Keldor. Rodian
What's
is
the
first
first?
correct one. Keldor is
Corellian?
second. Rodian.
Oh, Rhodian. I was
But
gonna
then
say
they
like
just
we need
make it
another Corellian Jedi.
canonically he's the boring uh mullet man one. So
Yeah. Is he Corellian?
I don't think he's Corellian. Jaden Core. Do they ever say? They might not ever say. Homeworld Coruscant.
I
That's what
guess
Wikipedia says.
sure. Sure.
I don't know what they're basing that off of.
Vibes.
Riptide.
Pure vibes.
Riptide.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
like
guess that's
do you want a
vibes.
boss nass situation where they speak basic, but then they just added and then you have to deal with that all the time?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely. What
fine.
do you mean?
But even other Gungans don't do that. That was just like a boss nass thing.
But they all have like yeah, I guess. I guess that's fair.
And like you think, oh well, the way Jar Jar speaks is the way the other Gungans speak. No, the
No.
way Yoda speaks is the way other Yodas speak. No, it's just them. There's like
Mm.
one guy among all the species that has like their own. Maybe they're raised in different places. Gungan or Jar Jar was raised in Utagunga, so
All right, so compare the I forget his name, the Magister or whatever in the Book of Boba Fett,
mm-hmm.
the Twi'lek with what's his name? Jabba's guy.
With a Bib
Well,
Fortuna.
yeah, where Bib has like a I don't know. At
Yeah,
least
but Bib's
I guess I'm
on
just
like
saying it's an
40 years
accent.
of
It's really just an
spice.
accent. No, is he in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, he's on 40 years. He's been on spice for
I guess he's
years.
also speaking. I guess in Return of the Jedi, he also speaks Huttese.
Yeah,
So.
when we have other Twi'leks, we have like Ayla Sakura, she's French, and then like Cham Syndulla, they all become French.
All right, can we go an episode without mentioning the fucking French, please? This is
No,
the
we
second
already
time.
mentioned them earlier today. You
I
mentioned it
mean, it's the
first.
second time. I'd rather not.
You mentioned it first. What do you want?
Yeah, but it was the hope of the French language being discontinued.
No, we
I'm just
don't hope
joking.
that.
No,
Again,
we don't hope that at
disavow.
all. Disavow, yeah.
Disavow.
Yeah,
Ontario
no,
stands strong with the francophone Ontarian community.
I went to my
One of my
local
best friends is from
Acadian.
Timmins.
I went to my local Acadian community today. So
There you go.
there's
Did you
Canadian
tell them
flags
you
everywhere.
hate them?
No, I think they would stab me. I've never seen a more like patriotic. I guess I've never seen a more proud people than the Acadians. Flags everywhere. It's insane.
That I mean,
It's like being at a NASCAR race, but
if you play GeoGuessr, the easiest place to know where you are is the United States. There is a flag everywhere.
yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, you can tell because it's Canada, but with wider roads. But it's mostly the flags everywhere. You get
Well, that's like
dropped somewhere in New England, flags. Texas,
yeah,
flags everywhere. It's
that's
insane.
like
It scares me sometimes.
I'm driving to this little cafe. It's like if you're from Nova Scotia, it's kind of past Lawrencetown. And once you hit a certain point, like it's a very nice area. It's like salt marshes and also the ocean. And everywhere there's like a little island, like just out in the salt marshes or out in the kind of tidal pools, Acadian flag on it. Like someone swims out there or boats out there, flag. claim
That's
that
how
shit.
imperialism worked.
Yeah,
The Akkadian Empire will rise again.
it will. They make really good cookies if that restaurant's anything to.
Did the porridge look? They're back on the ship. Jude
Mm.
Law makes dinner for everyone.
Mhm.
He eats his porridge in front of everyone, and then tells him there's porridge for everyone else. Did it look appetizing to you? Would you eat? Why is all Star Wars food blue? Is another note.
Mm. I mean, would I eat it? Yes. Does it look appetizing? No. But yeah.
Wait, it's just made with blue milk, isn't it? So that's probably why it's all blue. I solved it. I
They
solved
need to
my own
chill with the
problem.
blue milk. They need to chill with the blue milk.
Why? Do people need to chill with the white milk and or is it just you're saying that they
Blue
always
milk is
choose
like the
meals that would
ultimate
have blue milk in it?
no, blue milk is like the ultimate example of something appeared once, so not every time it's like this that we always talk about. We're like, yes, we see blue on Peru serve blue milk.
Yep.
George Lucas tossed that shit in. Now it's like we're having blue milk in cereal. We're having blue milk everywhere. Like it's just like I don't know. There's something about the first movie especially where like everything in the movie just looks like it's from a million years ago. And like, yeah, I mean, we've got blue milk, but we've got green milk over here. We've got red milk. It's all shit. Anyway, it's just like slop. That's kind of how I imagine. Like they're moisture farmers in like the middle of some shitty desert. Like, yeah,
Do we know what it's bantha, right?
I have no
Bantha
idea.
milk, I assume.
And that's like the other thing. Like we always hear, okay, banthas. Like, bro, why are there banthas everywhere? Although I guess maybe they were brought across the galaxy as
Most things in Star Wars were brought across the galaxy because when
yeah,
George Lucas planned out the entire history of the Star Wars galaxy, he said the Rakatans or the Celestials brought they basically panspermiaed the galaxy. That's why
yeah,
everyone looks like a human. That's why humans are in different places. And that's a thing that George Lucas definitely knew and cared about is the Rakatans.
yeah.
I would
George
cut
Lucas
off a
definitely knows it.
limb if he'd ever seen the word Rakatan.
I think George might have. Yeah, I mean, I feel like was maybe aware of like Kodor, where it was so popular. Maybe like
Oh,
maybe there's something from here you want to look at.
I didn't finish my sequel scripts because I had to finish my save in KOTOR 2.
How the fuck do I get this on the Atari 2600?
Okay, well, we do have the classic moment of everyone go to bed. I'm not tired. Cut to them all being asleep except
Yeah,
for baby.
yeah. Again, as a parent, yes, every night.
As a puppy owner, every 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not doing that shit.
I someday I'm gonna be able to do a full work day again and not an hour of work, an hour of puppy, an hour of work, an hour of puppy, an hour of work, an hour of puppy, and then my work day is over. Dana's home and I stop doing
Yeah,
so much. But then Jod has uh, a contact he wants to get to once he he thinks he can find out where At-Atin is, and it's someone named Kim but spelled differently.
mm-hmm.
It's you only know that if you look at the subtitles, which
Yeah,
when I watch the episodes
I
I always
always
have them on. When
me
I
too.
recorded the episodes, I always have them off. So I don't torrent the episodes to edit for clip, record my
I do.
screen. I should,
Why? Yeah, you should.
but
It takes me like I was thinking today like how crazy internet speeds are. Like I torrented episode 3 in legitimately 15 seconds. And it was like 3 gigabytes. It was crazy.
I need I need to just build up a library of all the stuff I don't have to
Yeah,
edit
I got a big
properly.
one. Yeah.
Didn't yours get zapped?
It did, but it did get zapped by Adobe and they apologized and couldn't explain why it happened, but I actually had a local version saved on my MacBook. So I was able to repopulate the cloud with it.
Like that mega drive of all the books and stuff like that. No one
I don't
knows
know.
where that went.
Yeah. No, it's still there.
Doesn't
You just
have
got to
all the
look.
stuff in it anymore.
Well, they publish updates.
Oh, I thought it was like basically wiped. anyways, we're not talking about
Maybe.
that. No, what are you talking about? Nothing, that
Yeah,
doesn't
I don't know.
exist. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, I when I was reading Star Wars Insider or issue 96, I went to my store and I bought that.
All the hyperspace articles were for sale at the local chapters.
I said, "Give me your finest copy of Star Wars Insider number 76, the first run, please." And they said, "Certainly."
Yes. So
They said, "Would you like that hardcover or softcover?"
we get
Surprise.
to this moon, and there's Kim is calling in the arrest, and she calls Jod by the third name we've heard for him. We've heard Silvo, Captain Silvo on the base. We heard him say Jod Nanawut, Jod Nanawood,
Mhm.
Jod Nanalon, and
No
that's
one.
one's for the Canadians out
No
there.
more French stuff.
You thought Caillou was bad.
Nah, I fuck with Nanalon over Caillou, I think.
Then we have Crimson Jack, who is an
Mm.
old Legends character from the Marvel run, who who I think steals Han's reward from Episode 4.
Yeah, that sounds right. I can't remember exactly what. They throw so many wacky characters into those comics. But yeah, that sounds right to me.
And he's wearing a Speedo, like so many
Mhm.
things in the 70s.
Yeah.
If I could change one thing about all the Star Wars shows, it's they should all be wearing outfits from like the 70s and 80s comic runs,
Hmm.
and nothing
So
else
it look
changes.
so it would look more like the holiday special, basically.
Yeah, everyone would be in a banana hammock.
Nice. I can get behind that.
Unfortunately, Han kills that Crimson Jack. He does not look anything like Jude Law. He looks like a lumberjack. Crimson.
Yeah, there's he also is in canon as
Yeah,
well.
in the First Order
Um,
period.
yeah,
Looks the exact same as his comic version from Legends.
yeah, where they've done that a lot with like Valence the Hunter's another example where they'll just or fuck, what's her name? But they Danny I think is in
Danny?
canon, maybe I don't know, but they bring lots of characters from the old.
Oh,
on-
there's Ultra. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Danny's in and Jackson obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know if Danny is in canon. I thought she was. But, like some of Han Solo's girlfriends as well. Yeah, Danny is in canon. Yep.
Yeah, but I don't think the intent was for any of the story to be implied to be the same for Jod.
No, it's not.
But he does ultimately convince the kids that they can get home if they follow him. They need him. So
Mhm.
the kids help him evade arrest by shooting at some cops, which
Base.
you surprised they got that one past the censors. But in order to get back on the ship, they say he has to tell them who he is, and he agrees to work for them. But I have a potential theory to reconcile the whole not a Jedi thing, and I'm a kid like you. I think he was telling the truth with that. I think
Okay.
when he said I'm a like lost like you guys, I think he relates to the lost kids thing because he was a youngling identified as force sensitive by the Jedi Order, never really got trained that much by them, so he's not really a Jedi, was never really part of the Order. He's
Yeah.
of roughly the right age, right? So
Yep. Yep.
he was a lost kid in the galaxy, became a pirate, and now he's with some other lost kids that are going to win him over from his piracy ways. He thinks he's getting a treasure, but the treasure he's
He
finding
is. It's
is his
friendship he found along the way.
friendship. Yeah, friendship.
Yeah. No, I was wanted to talk about that. Kind of what you were assuming was his story. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case. Um. But yeah, I'm not sure. He's a fun character. That would be a cool story though. If that is his, that does end up being his backstory. That'd be a fun one to tell on its own someday.
Because like I think it's got to be either that or Fern's writing their strings involved.
I guess that's possible, but he's done enough because like he turns off the light from across the ship. He could have done that, but it seemed pretty spontaneous. Um, and his escape didn't seem to be planned with the
No,
pirates' help. So I think he is force sensitive, but like you kind of said, like only to a very basic minor level.
yeah, I
Maybe
don't think
he'll
he's like
improve.
super trained. I don't think he ever had a lightsaber or anything like
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, he certainly doesn't seem to know the philosophy super well, but he kind of has a bit of an idea.
that. He knows they don't say the Jedi never leave a man.
Mhm. I mean, they say stuff like that.
Do they? When? Which Clone Wars
Well,
episode?
the one where what's his name says you're not. What does he say to the clones again? Disposable to me.
Yeah, at Ponkrell on Umbara.
Yeah. No. No. Is it who is it that says that? Is it why am I forgetting who says that?
Is it Anakin or Ahsoka?
No, it's is it Plo Koon? Says
Oh
we're
yeah,
like
when
we're
they're
just
in the
clones.
when they're getting
They're
hunted
in
by the
the
Malevolence.
yeah, is that Plo Koon?
I think
Yeah, it
so.
is Plo Koon, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's like when
they're
they're he's like we're clones, we're meant to be expendable.
yeah.
Not to me. I'd say that's pretty close, right?
Yeah, but like how many of them did die right after that?
Almost all of them.
Yeah, so like come on, man. We're writing checks we can't cash.
They say it though.
I'm going to be very sad about this later. But also I'll never mention it again.
The way it goes sometimes, buddy.
All right. So we end with them leaving the moon basically.
Mhm.
Any final thoughts that we haven't talked about for the episode? Plot
No, I mean I
wise?
enjoyed it. I did really enjoy the scene where they're talking and he's returning to the ship and you can see like laser fire in the background. I thought that
Yeah.
gave me a good little chuckle.
And we did get the ion cannons, or I couldn't tell if it was like an ion torpedo or ion cannons from the X-wings.
Yeah, those cannons.
Because like it makes sense that cop X-wings would be outfitted with ion cannons rather than full
Yeah.
blasters.
I think they could probably switch, right?
Can
I
they?
think they were firing blasters as well.
Okay.
Switch her over.
Go ahead and
Reminded me
paying
of that
close enough
scene in
attention.
remember Rogue Squadron N64 where you ion cannon the TIE interceptor from that. I can't remember if she's a officer or captain. Remember?
No.
Okay, wow. Have you played the game?
Yeah, but I have not played it in a long time.
Yeah, it's like at the very end you like capture her, and then she joins your squad.
Hmm.
I can't remember her name though.
I was thinking when Shmi was doing uh the rundown on how to use the ship of like here's your thrusters, here's your triple reverse thrusters, like me when playing Star Wars Squadrons.
Just all nonsense.
How do you rank the episode so far?
I think the second was my favorite. This would be the second, and then the first my least. But I've liked them all so far, so it's all pretty close. What
I
about you?
think this one was probably my favorite. First, yeah, I think second is my least favorite. Not that it's
Okay.
bad, just that it's the one that doesn't stand out as much.
Mhm. I mean, this one had a talking owl, so that's always fun.
Yeah. Did you get a so when they first showed Kim's hand, were you thinking like, oh, like I my reaction was, oh, are they gonna do another Yoda? That would be a big thing. Is like the
No, I never thought that at all.
polydactyl hand is
No, I'm a little more clever, so I didn't actually think that could happen.
okay.
Yeah.
That's great. We do have a question. I'm gonna read the most recent question from emails. Uh, so we'll try to get back into some questions at the end, especially for the show episodes because they're usually a little bit
Yeah.
shorter. So that's tapcaftransmissions@gmail.com. If you have sent one before, feel free to send it in now. Our email is like full of fucking spam. So it's often it's difficult to sort through if we haven't done it in a while. So
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is there. Someone definitely put us up on a mailing list,
yeah,
like a
like
spam mailing list.
I delete what I can, but like there's a Lacoste collaboration, boost your Star Wars videos with SEO secrets, be our partner, Grizzly antivirus sponsorship opportunity. Uh, Purchase success, payment process within 24 hours, renewal certificate, Juve, so all that kind of stuff. But our question for
Yeah.
tonight comes from Spencer, who says, "Hello, Ek and Corey. With all the new information about Andor season 2 trickling out, are you excited to see more Krennic? What new things do y'all hope to see with his character?" You go first.
I don't know if there's like another aspect of Krennic's character I really need to see. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's one dimensional in a good way. Like, you occasionally need the conniving Imperial, so I just want to see more of that. Really, I don't need anything different.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat where like I don't need a deeper version for him. I don't think I want to do a Krennic is a villain actually video in my series of character assassinations for Thrawn, Pelion, and Dooku so far. So
Yeah,
I think he's. I think if we never learn anything that makes him a deeper character than he is right now, that's probably fine. But
yeah. No, I don't really want him to be anything like the show's got enough complex characters, and
mhm.
especially where he's gonna be, he's definitely kind of a step like from a greater world than everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like all the drama like going on is kind of small in Andor so far. Like we're talking about one world essentially, couple worlds. Yeah, it's funding the rebellion, but like even that, they're only kind of loosely connected to it. So yeah, I don't need him to be more complex. He's cool.
I do think we're probably going to get more broad scale than season one,
Agreed.
like fairly
Totally.
broad scale. Like Mon Mothma is probably going to be a bigger focus, and
Mhm.
like we are probably going to go higher up the ISB chain. But yeah, thank you, Spencer. Hopefully, our lack of hopes for Krennic isn't too disappointing for anyone. But next week will be Skeleton Crew season, or not season 4, episode 4.
Mhm.
And the week after that will be Christmas, but also Skeleton Crew. So we'll figure out a day. Maybe we'll end up doing like I have nothing going on, so it's really up to you when we do stuff. Uh,
Yep, we'll figure it out.
so yeah, we'll make sure to have an episode covering each episode, and we will get back to some books in the NJO overview once we are winding down with Skeleton Crew. We'll probably pick a book, like solidify a book that we're doing next pretty
Mhm.
soon. I can't remember what
Yeah.
you said you wanted to read.
I said Lost Stars
Lost Stars.
or Thrawn or there was one that was we talked about maybe what's it called? Aftermath
I think we should do Thrawn in the lead up to Ahsoka season 2.
in 2 years.
Well, whenever it comes out, that's probably when we should do.
It will be 2 years from now, probably.
Okay, maybe not then.
But we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but I might be wrong.
I don't
They're
think
still
you're wrong
writing it,
either.
so
Yeah, he said it's the next thing he's working on it, or he's working on it right now. So it's yeah, there's no way it's out before 2 years from now. Are we even gonna have a movie next year at this point, or have they all been pushed back?
um
I think
so I
2026 is the first movie now. No,
yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu I think is supposed to be like mid 26.
it's insane.
Yeah.
If Hallmark can put out 40 movies a year, why can't Star Wars put out one movie every 6 years?
May 2026, yeah. So I I think people are scared of I think Avatar comes out maybe December 2025. So maybe that's what they're concerned
But
about,
if
but
they have as many movies coming as they say, there could be a movie every year from 2025 to like 2032. I'm gonna die
well,
by then. I need the movies now. I'm not a
I got
healthy
good
man.
news. I just searched Star Wars 2025 movie and Google's AI overview said
Rogue
Darth
Squadron.
Vader a Star Wars story, a 2025 movie. And
Oh,
that's the full
sick.
title. Darth Vader colon a Star Wars story colon a 2025 movie. I'm
Beautiful.
pretty sure it's pulling it from like it's pulling it from a teaser concept.
It's the fucking Darth trailer movie. I have blocked
Hey,
that channel so many fucking times, and yet I still get
fucking scumbags.
in my like in my Google News results on my phone. I hate it.
There's a few channels that I like. I'm a YouTuber. I try to be, you got to do what you got to do to survive. I don't wish anyone to lose their job, but there's like a few channels that I wish didn't exist. That's one of like those kinds of channels are one of them, and all of the forensic body language channels. I wish they would all go away because they're like actively harmful, in my opinion.
All the right wing grifters I wish would go away.
Yeah, any grifter.
Don't
Oh
both
no,
sides the grift.
why am I disappearing?
Mr. Datapad, I don't feel so good. All right, with that, we are going to end it there for tonight so that Justin can go watch more of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel some urges that I don't want to talk about on stream.
All right, well, thank you all for listening. I've been Corey. You've been great. See you next time.
Bye.